Well, hello, what's up? How is everybody doing? Hope you're all having a wonderful night. Hope you're doing great. Hope you're feeling nice. Hope you're healthy. Today, we're gonna talk about Demesne Arbalists. Now, I do know some of you wanna see the new unit, the Chariot, the Tier 4. It's gonna take me a while. The devs don't really help me, man. And I'm a bit pissed about that. I did have this conversation before. You know, if I get a little bit of help, have all the units and stuff, it will be better for me. But it's gonna take time. I don't know when it's gonna happen. So I'm gonna bring you more units like this. Purple, yellow, older units because I can do nothing about it. It takes time to unlock units and the devs are kind of sleeping. I feel like the devs are allergic to content creators. They don't really want to help us out creating content, which is unfortunate. So you guys have to wait. Apologies. Now, Demesne Arbalists, very nice unit. This is how they look like, by the way. This right here. This is the skin. Full masteries, obviously, for full potential. Veterancy, this is what I recommend. Go here and then go full top. This one is really nice. You get 3 more soldiers. 3 more soldiers, more damage. Or you can go full top to get this. You avoid this and then you get this bottom. Never go full bottom because this is mostly defense. You don't care about that. You're a range unit, you need to hurt, you need to do damage. That's the point of the unit. Doctrines. Double fire doctrine, really good one for crossbow units. Perfect one. Increase ammo 35%, piercing armor penetration. Really nice because you need ammo. They kinda use ammo pretty fast. Shooting accuracy, piercing damage. Increase all type of damage inflicted by 8%. I love this one right here. I wish to have more. Increase damage dealt to units. All type of damage by 40 points. Pretty good doctrines if you ask me. Not bad. This is all I have. And they are actually pretty nice. Now let's check a little bit the gameplay. Now this is the first gameplay. I'm pressing the third skill. The double fire doctrine. This is the doctrine. It's not their skill, it's the doctrine, which is really good in crossbow units, which I definitely recommend. Then I'm pressing the second skill, which is the most important. Once you get full veterancy, masteries, you get the second skill, and it does actually really good. Unfortunately, here I don't get much damage because this is the shield meta, and shield meta are gonna block all your range units. It do be like that. It's normal and it's fine because I think shield meta is actually pretty fine. But you can see that I do get a little bit of damage. I do get some nice piercing armor penetration every single time I press the second skill. And it's not that bad. For a blue unit in tier 5 era, they're actually performing pretty good, decently against shields. Here is the fun part. So I'm shooting, I'm waiting for the second skill. Once the second skill pops up, that's the chariot right there. You can see it right there, it comes in, and look how fast I'm shooting it. Now there are some units around it, that's why we don't destroy it. You do damage bonus to cavalry, you do damage bonus to chariot, and you slow any cav, including the chariots. Now I didn't destroy the chariot because unfortunately, and sadly, the chariot has like 200k HP. I have no idea who came with this brilliant idea to make the chariots 200k HP, but unfortunately it would be like that. So I got a little bit of kills, sending them back, and now we're just gonna skip this part because nothing to see here. I lost a little bit of soldiers because of the musket, but that's okay. If you still have like 17, 18, you still can get a lot of value. Here there is a big blob fight, shield units. Look at the damage. Damage wise, it's not bad at all, even against shields, surprisingly. And you see that beautiful chariot right there, it's getting absolutely sniped. Now we do have the Huarangs in the back because the chariot gets bonus damage to cav, so that makes sense. But you slow cavalry, and if you slow cavalry, not only that you do bonus damage to them, but you destroy them. You do a lot of damage to cav, including chariots. Here we're getting a little bit more kills. Here comes the cav, completely useless because you slow it and it cannot charge into you, and that's really brilliant. This unit right here, it's the best range unit against cav, literally. But remember one thing, you have to press the second skill. If you don't press the second skill, that doesn't happen. So you gotta be very careful with that. Here I'm getting a little bit of value. I'm trying to put him back into the supply, but unfortunately the supply been taken. I don't have time for that. So I'm just gonna go in the other side to just get a little bit more value here. I'm trying to make a play. I got like 40 kills. That's not bad at all. Don't get me wrong. I think that's actually pretty good. And I'm trying to get a little bit of shots here. Unfortunately, I do not see the cav coming in here, I believe. Yes, and they kind of run me down. I'm just cleaning it up, and that's pretty much the end of them. They're pretty easy to kill. It's a blue unit in tier 5 era. it's pretty hard. 40 plus kills, not bad at all. We destroy a chariot. We almost destroyed two, but unfortunately we didn't catch it, and that's pretty much it. This is the end of them for this game. This game was a little bit better. We had more luck. We're playing with our teammates. We're doing push together. This is nice because you're still a range unit. You need a lot of help, right? I'm going to put him into a nice F2 formation. Really beautiful. Waiting for my teammates to go front. Putting them as close as possible. Your range is not the best. Doing a little bit of shots with the third skill. Pressing the doctrine one. We wait for the second skill a little bit because I need to see a little bit more units. And then at one point I'm pressing it, and look at that beautiful damage. I am surprised that even against shields they do hurt, and that's the beautiful part about it, that they actually hurt. I'm getting a little bit of losses, unfortunately. The Spartan class can snipe you really easily. You're a blue unit, so unfortunately, you know, they can kind of run you all over. That kind of sucks. Here we get a little bit of those beautiful lady Vikings, shield maidens. We'd get a little bit of shots. I already have 32 kills, 35. The damage for a blue unit, I'm being honest, in tier 5, this is really good. I'm trying to defend them a little bit, running away because they try to rush me. It does happen all the time. Then I'm pressing the second skill and getting a little bit more value here. 40 plus kills, 46, doing God's work. See, the unit is not bad at all. I was a bit wrong about them. I should put them a little bit higher, not gonna lie. But they perform better in purple era, yellow era than they actually perform in blue era. Here getting just a little bit more value. Shooting those shields. Against shields, you don't have the biggest damage, which is normal. It's obvious, right? You just... they shields, they will block your arrows. But surprisingly, when you press the second skill, they have some interesting piercing armor penetration. So they kinda hurt. Now I want to show you something here. We skipped a little bit ahead. They are a crossbow unit, which means that other range units, archers themselves like Warang, Fire Archers, Rattan Vipers, they can destroy you really easily because your range as a crossbow unit, it's much lower. So against other range units, you're not gonna do nothing. I'm being honest, pretty much all of them have higher range than you, so you have to be very careful. You either deal with cav when your second skill is up, or with infantries as much as you can. The more value you bring, the better. I usually love to play them aggressive. Range units, even if they're range units and they squishy and they die fast and they can get rushed, and sometimes you're gonna fail, it is what it is, but I do prefer to play them aggressive. I'm getting them a little bit closer. I'm getting sniped by other range units. Unfortunate. I do have still a few left. Putting them into a nice spot. Pressing the second skill, and look at that beautiful damage. There's a lot of shields right there. And surprisingly, I succeed to get a lot of value with them. A lot of damage, some kills, piercing some shields, not bad at all. I'm trying to hide them a little bit, so I don't get sniped by the other range units. There is some Hwarang, they have more range than you. What can you do? Putting them closer, pressing the second skill, and just letting them do God's work, whatever they can do. At this point, there's nothing much I can do about them. I lost most of them, so I'm just gonna let them go. Not bad though, right? For a blue unit, 60 plus kills in yellow era against shield units, it's really impressive. There is not much cav into the game. Not many people spam cav, but there is probably gonna be the chariot soon enough, so you can counter chariot more than cav, right? Last gameplay, I'm trying to get as much value as I can. I'm going a bit solo. You see the beautiful numbers? Absolutely outstanding. The damage, especially to units that don't have a shield, it's actually pretty high. However, if your second skill is on CDR, you don't do damage. Like their shooting, normal shooting, it's very low. Here, I'm putting them into the flame, into the burn, which kinda sucks. I'm losing a little bit of them. Unfortunate, I hate these runes. I'm putting them behind, running away, pressing the second skill, and we are burning so badly those shield maidens. We just destroy them. We have other range units in the back, luckily, so they help us out, but we do get good amount of value. I'm trying to play them as aggressive as I can. As I said, I do love to play range units much more aggressive to get value with them, because keeping them behind the wall and just letting them shoot randomly, it's not really the best idea. Here we get a little bit more value. Tons of shields, because that's what the meta is. It's unfortunate. I mean, it's not a bad thing, don't get me wrong, but range units don't work so well. However, we do succeed to get a little bit of value. A little bit of damage on those shields, cleaning up the units, and using the third skill every single time. My second skill is on CDR. So this is pretty good. This is going actually pretty nice. I'm gonna try to bring them back to the supply. The ammo, the ammunition does suck a little bit. I do have a doctrine that gives them a little bit more ammo, which is nice. But if you don't have it, you're probably gonna suffer even more, so that kind of sucks. It's a bit tough. I think that they waste ammo a little bit quick, just a little bit, but I guess the value is really nice. Now here we're trying to get a little bit of value, but I don't succeed to do much because, you know, I'm kind of alone. I need someone to the front line. So all I'm just doing, I'm pressing the second skill and try to snipe a little bit of heroes. Damage to heroes, it's not that high. I killed him myself because I'm an assassin anyway, but damage to heroes, it's not that good. I don't think they do so great against enemy heroes, so don't expect them to one-shot them or anything. Here we get a little bit of units coming in. I'm trying to snipe whatever I can do. I'm trying to run away, keep them distant. Some units are gonna come towards us. There is a lot of shields right there. They go on that wall, which is a bit unfortunate. It does happen like that. The second skill, CDR, is pretty low, so it's not really a big deal, but it's okay. Pressing V, do as much damage as we can. When the second skill is down, as I said, the damage is pretty meh. Here comes the units. Luckily, we have the second skill up, and look how fast we're demolishing them. Just look at that. Absolutely, really, really quickly. Units without a shield do suffer a lot, so you can snipe them really easily with the second skill. Now we're gonna just run away. There's not much else I can do here. You have to play with your teammates. In the end, it's still a range unit. You know, I prefer to play them aggressive, which is cool, but playing with your teammates is probably the best call all the time. So, not bad value. At the beginning of the game, we actually got some good amount of value, not bad at all. Now I'm just gonna try to use them as good as possible. Now we're gonna try to get a little bit more value on the map. I'm always trying to be aggressive. I don't like when people just put, you know, range unit behind and they just sit there and wait. You have to always get value with them. Yes, sometimes you're gonna fail, you're gonna get rushed. It does happen, but just try to enjoy the game and make it work. See, here we see a little bit of cav. You eliminate any cav with ease because you do bonus damage to cav and you slow them. Cav can do nothing against Arbalists, but just remember you need the second skill up, because if you don't, well, then that's gonna be a bit of a problem. Now we're just gonna try to go around. I'm spinning around at the moment because I don't know where exactly to go and I'm waiting for the enemy team. We're gonna get a little bit of fighting soon enough. I'm pressing the third skill because I thought it's a bigger blob fight. And then I'm gonna go down with my allies. Here is some nice units and trying to snipe them. I do get someone rushing my units. That can happen very often. That's why I play dual blades. I can defend them. I do lose a bit and lose some health because the new runes on the floor kinda hurt. They really kinda hurt, so you have to be very careful. Get 2 hero kills, not bad at all. Their accuracy is pretty nice. I'm gonna lie, their accuracy is actually pretty good. Then we're gonna go to the front. I see there a little bit of Iron Reapers, but they are very far away. As I said, your range, it's not that great. It's really not. It's pretty complicated, your range. You have to be pretty close to the enemy as a crossbow unit, so it's a bit risky, but that's just how it works. Now we're gonna go to the top because there's a big fight here coming on. There's a lot of shields. See some nice chariot. People already have the chariots in the second day. It's kind of crazy. Gonna put him here, press the second skill, and let them do God's work. Now, you don't really get kills when it comes up to shields, especially big shields. It's really hard, but you can see the numbers. You do some damage, and that's the beautiful part about it. I think they do much more better against Cav, generally speaking, and because the shield meta, most range units are not that great, but it's a blue unit. Pressing the second skill soon enough, and look at that beautiful damage. Getting 50 plus kills, hurting as much as I can, but unfortunately there are some cannons there, and they just destroy me with ease. So this is pretty much the end of them. 50 plus kills. Most games I get 50 plus kills. It depends on the game, obviously. But the unit feels nice to play. I really like it. Me one, I really like it, and it's very cheap. And you should definitely give it a shot. Demesne Arbalists, a very beautiful unit, actually pretty strong. I do regret putting them on B. I mean, in blue era, they don't perform that well. I think that in purple era, yellow era, they do actually better because the fights are a bit longer. you know, so you have more time to put up that damage. They're not that difficult to play, very nice. They godlike against cavalry. There is a big of an issue though, because there's not much cavalry, there's a lot of shields. But if you hate the new chariots, which I'm pretty sure we're gonna see many of them because they're actually pretty strong, because they kinda got buffed at the end, I don't know why, don't ask me why. And you don't wanna play phalanx or you don't wanna play halberdiers to counter cav, this is a good unit. You like range, it's very cheap, 140 leadership, this is a very good one. You wanna destroy cav, you wanna destroy the chariots, this one is awesome. And you can actually get good amount of value even against infantry units, even though there are a lot of shields, which is a bit complicated. So I regret putting them on B. I'm gonna say they're like an A tier. I don't think they're an S tier again, because it's shield meta, but they're good. They're actually very good. They're really nice to play, very solid, fancy, satisfying to play, very cheap. You can get them pretty much anytime. So I definitely recommend it. Anyway, with that being said, I hope you're having a wonderful day, a wonderful night, and I see you guys in the next one. Take care.